And welcome back. A new survey of consumers and human resource managers finds that issues like harassment and equal pay for women in the workplace should be a priority for businesses. Here to share insights on the survey as well as some of the other findings are two top experts on business ethics. We have Jane Randall, who is the CEO or co-CEO of Social Impact Consultancy and co-founder of No More. And accompanying her is Catherine Hernandez-Blaze, who is the Chief Brand and Communications Officer at Aflac. Welcome to both of you women here today. I want to start real quick with Catherine. Why is it important that we conduct research into corporate social responsibility?
Oh, it's vitally important. I think corporate America really needs to understand the expectations of consumers in regard to corporate social responsibility. This is actually the fourth year we've conducted the survey, and the results are always enlightening.
Okay, and has the Me Too movement impacted any of these findings?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we focused this year's survey on what corporations are doing about sexual harassment practices because of the Me Too movement. And there were two findings of particular interest. The first had to do with parity in pay by gender. In other words, equal pay for equal work. We're very fortunate at Aflac. We've been working on that for a long time, and we're actually at parity. But corporate America in general has a long way to go and a huge opportunity to step up and do the right thing. The second thing that was very interesting was that 90% of human resources professionals told us that they have a sexual harassment policy that they feel is adequately communicated. But when we asked employees, 55% of employees could not tell us whether or not their companies actually even had a policy on sexual harassment.
Wow.
Huge disconnect, tremendous opportunity, yes.
Okay, so clearly you're finding out things about these employees and the ethics in the companies in which they work. Okay.
Yeah, please.
No,
What we're
please tell me
what
more.
we're finding is that employees really want to know what their companies are doing internally and externally. They want to know about their policies, their protocols. They want to understand what companies are doing internally and externally. And, kind of sending an email or posting a policy on the intranet is just not enough. And that's where Catherine was saying it was, a real opportunity. Aflac is great at that. And there are other companies that are good at it, but most, even whether you're big or small, are not good at really rallying their employee base, which are really their ambassadors.
And tell me more too, because we're in the middle of generation swap out. Baby boomers are moving out. There's younger generations moving into the workforce. How has this changed the landscape for corporations when it comes to social responsibility?
I love generation swap out. That's awesome. It really changes it a lot because you have people who are coming in who expect the companies that they're working for to give back to the community. It's very important. Purpose, mission, all of those things are very important to millennials, Gen Y, Gen Z, a lot of letters. And it's really important to that audience. And so it's forcing companies to look internally to see what they're doing and how they can give back more. And these young people will ask about what they're doing as they're interviewing for jobs, because when they sit down at their desk, they want to know that their company they're working for is doing good in the world.
And so what do you think companies should really be focusing on when it comes to social responsibility?
Well, I think authenticity is key. People can smell a phony a mile away. For example, Aflac sells cancer insurance, and we've had a 23-year commitment to the Aflac Cancer Center in Atlanta, Georgia. And during that time, we've invested more than $125 million in the research and treatment of pediatric cancer. Our employees are very engaged. All of our stakeholders are very aware of that commitment and appreciate it. It's part of our core values, and again, it's that authenticity that matters. So first and foremost, companies must be authentic.
Right, and ladies, I understand that there is a program called No More that people would love to know more about. Where can people go for more information?
For more information about Jane's wonderful organization called No More, please visit nomore.org. And if you're interested in the Aflac Corporate Social Responsibility Survey, please visit aflac.com/ACSR.
Jane, Catherine, both, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate the insight to this incredibly important information. Thank you. All right, everyone, the 2019 Miss America competition will be airing right here on ABC 10 this September. So, of course, we had to bring in one of the contestants. Today we have Miss Idaho, Nina Forrest, who hails from the Potato State, but believe it or not, she actually has some local connections right here in Northern California. So a very warm welcome to this intelligent young woman. Great to have you here on Sac & Co, Nina.
Thank you, Melissa. It's so great to be here.
Excellent. Okay, so Nina, you're Miss Idaho, but you actually have connections here in Northern California because you study at UC Berkeley.
Davis.
Or sorry, Davis UC Berkeley. Now I'm sending you to the Bay Area. You're at Davis studying as a student, and what are you studying over there?
My major is international relations, and I have a minor in Chinese.
Okay, and why did you decide to focus on those areas of study?
Growing up as a first-generation American, my mom immigrated to the United States from China, and my dad is from England. I was very fortunate to have grown up with such a diverse background and understanding of how the world worked, and that was something I knew I really wanted to study at the collegiate level.
Wonderful. And so it brought you here, and we are so blessed to have you here, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
So let's talk about, though, the Miss America program and why you found it important as a very educated young woman to expose yourself to this experience and this opportunity. What is it about the program that you think is so beneficial?
Well, Miss America, first and foremost, is a scholarship organization. It's the largest scholarship provider for young women in the country. And my involvement within this organization is going to allow me to graduate from UC Davis debt-free.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Debt-free?
Even with out-of-state tuition costs.
Wow, no
and
kidding.
Last summer, I even studied abroad fashion marketing in Paris, France, completely free, thanks to all of the scholarships I've procured from participating in this organization.
Okay, and in addition to obviously the scholarship funds too, you've had training in public speaking, obvious. You also have a talent, and you have a service or a passion project, if you will, that you must invest in that benefits the community. So tell us about yours.
Yes, my social impact initiative is called Leave Childhood Hunger Behind, and essentially it focuses on combating certain sectors of food insecurity in Idaho and America. And one of my main objectives this year as Miss Idaho is to implement food recovery programs in public schools across Idaho.
Okay, and why did you choose that?
It really stems from my family's background in China. My mom grew up in China during the Cultural Revolution, which was a time of great national famine. And just growing up with that sort of upbringing and understanding really made me want to combat the food insecurity that's prevalent in our own backyard here in America.
Okay, so you're seeing that issue actually here in our very own country.
Absolutely. 1 in 6 children in America are food insecure. And just because it's not as prevalent as, say, homelessness or other serious issues people are facing today doesn't mean that it's still not a real issue affecting a lot of Americans today.
Okay, and we have to talk about Miss America because we know it's a big buzz right now. It has been for a few months now since this came out. But Miss America getting rid of the swimsuit competition. This is going to be the very first national pageant in the history of the program since the 1920s where women will not be walking across the stage in a bathing suit. How do you feel about that?
To be honest, I'm a bit relieved I don't have to walk on stage on the Miss America stage in a swimsuit. That being said, a part of me is a little bit disappointed knowing that there's young women in the future who aren't going to be able to experience all of the benefits that I've gained from competing in a swimsuit.
And what are those benefits? So there's benefits to wearing a swimsuit on stage?
Absolutely. For me, it was a great source of confidence. Growing up, I hated being 6 feet tall. I thought it was an insecurity of mine, something I should be ashamed of. And having to walk on stage in front of hundreds of people in a swimsuit really changed that perspective for me. It really made me gain more confidence and own my height.
Okay, so it allowed you to own who you are yourself and not worry about what the other perception was, but just feeling confident in your own.
Absolutely.
Okay, yes. I love that. That's great. Okay, we have just a moment. I want you to leave a lasting message for anyone watching. What would be some inspiration you want to leave with them?
A piece of advice that has always stuck with me is to not let any opportunity pass you by. Growing up, I was always scared to try new things and risk of failure. And that perspective really shifted for me in high school when I had my first piano lesson freshman year. And I would not be sitting here today if it was not for that. Piano is my Miss America talent, and it's something that a passion I would have never found had I not chosen to take risks.
Wonderful. So don't be afraid of taking risks. Love
Exactly.
it, Nina. You can watch her. You can watch all the other women that you're rooting for right here on ABC 10, September 9th. Make sure you tune in. Will be happening here, 6 to 8 on Pacific time, everyone. Make sure you tune in. And you never know, you could be looking at the next Miss America. All right, Nina, thank you so much, everyone. We will see you back here on Monday as we bring value home right here on Sac & Co at 9 a.m. Have a blessed and fun weekend.
This interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.